So now we're going to shift gears and we're going to explore how different forces around a company shape its marketing strategy. So it's not just about making ads, it's also important for individuals in marketing and in leadership in an organization to understand the environment that they're operating in and adapt to it. Sometimes they can't control it, but they need to understand how they can adapt to it. So we're going to start. Okay, so we're going to divide the marketing environment into two big areas. So one is immediate environment, and the immediate environment are the things closest to the company that it can respond to quickly. And then the second breakout is macro environment. And this is the larger societal forces that are going to require more long-term thinking. And we're going to explore both of these today. We're going to start with the immediate environment. So when we think about company capabilities, every company should focus on what it does best. So a great example is Corning makes incredibly strong glass used in billions of smartphones. So that is something that they do really, really well. Another item within immediate environment is competitors or competition. So marketers have to understand their competition's strengths and their weaknesses. So Lyft, the rideshare organization, goes after Uber drivers with targeted ads to be able to adapt them to come over to Lyft. Another aspect of the immediate environment is corporate partners. So know that companies rarely act alone. There are a lot of collaborative partnerships that bring value to organizations. And an example here is NAU or now I think it is, partners with manufacturers to create sustainable clothing. So I would say off the top of your head, you could probably think about a lot of different companies that partner together. There are a lot of, even when we think about influencers that partner, but also companies partnering together to bring things across that are even stronger. Physical environment is the last aspect of the immediate environment, and consumers really care about sustainability. So companies want to, or they feel like they must, market green practices truthfully, because it can, if they use the concept of greenwashing, it can damage the trust that people have in the company itself. So let's talk a little bit about culture and demographics. So country versus regional culture. Culture shapes what consumers are going to value. Global companies like McDonald's are going to tweak their menus to fit local preferences. So if you've ever traveled outside of the country and gone to another country and visited McDonald's, you know that what they offer on the menu could be slightly different, or people choose to pair things a little bit differently. And you'll see that with a lot of different restaurants. And McDonald's is making sure that they are adapting to the culture and where they're at. Otherwise, those consumers are probably not going to take advantage and purchase and tell everybody else about their food. Another one is target market characteristics. So it's important to understand customer demographics. Tesco uses a loyalty card, and this can be similar to like Costco or Kroger, Meijer, anywhere else having loyalty cards, because this data is going to be able to let them target people and to make other kinds of suggestions. So in Tesco's case, they can use the loyalty card data to offer healthier food suggestions. I've seen in my own experience, like Meijer will use the loyalty card to figure out what coupons to target and things like that. And then generational cohorts, different age groups have different expectations and habits. So marketers have to adapt their messaging and their channels based on different generational preferences. And these are part of this external environment. I'm going to go to social trends next. So we mentioned about sustainability before. Consumers want brands that support global causes. Health and wellness, more people are focused on health, and this can create new markets. And then food distribution, there's also a growing effort to tackle hunger and food waste. So an example here is this company called Fresh Crate brings affordable fresh food to underserved neighborhoods. Next, we're going to touch on technology, which is part of that external environment. Data privacy is a big issue, and consumers feel their data is being collected faster than it's being protected. which is a challenge. Emerging tech, there's artificial intelligence, robotics, the Internet of Things, and these are all reshaping marketing from personalized offers to automated customer service. And then there's also new formats. So the example here is Pepper the Robot is used in restaurants and hotels to enhance the customer experience. The next one to touch on is economic and political slash legal. And as far as economic factors, marketers need to watch the economy. Things like inflation, currency shifts, interest rates, all of those affect how and what consumers are going to buy. So we may not think of it so much when we think about any common day things, but if we think about if you're going to buy a house or you're thinking of refinancing or selling your house, are you going to make money? Do you have equity? What is the interest rate? And right now, the rates, I can't remember exactly the year. It wasn't too long ago. I think it was right around COVID or before COVID. The interest rates went to like 3% or just under 3% for mortgage. And a lot of people locked in on those rates. And now, if they want to move, the rates have gone up 7% or higher. So, somebody I saw the other day on TikTok who was paying $700 at a 3% interest rate and is now at a 7.5% interest rate because they decided to move and their payment is like $2,250. So, it's going to make a huge impact for things like that. Those things are also going to affect gas prices, which are going to affect people who are traveling quite a bit. If we think about with some of the stuff with the economy, the price of eggs has changed. So thinking about how the economy is impacted overall and how that can hurt or help businesses too. Other things are buying patterns. So when the US dollar is strong, American tourists are going to shop more abroad. Legal compliance, ensuring that there's fair competition and consumer protection, and then industry rules where there's specific regulations that can affect what and how you market different things. Those are going to have impacts. Another thing, if we think about economic and the political slash legal landscape, is more prevalent to this last year or so is the tariffs and how are the increase in tariffs on other countries or their increases on us as a result impacting business and how all of that works and what that looks like. So next we're going to talk about responding to the environment. So it's important to stay aware. The marketing environment is always changing and marketers must monitor it constantly. It's not just the obligation of the marketers or the people in the marketing area, but also in the leadership of an organization to stay aware of what's happening and what potential impacts that could have on an organization. It's also important to respond quickly. Companies that adapt quickly to changes tend to win or be ahead in the marketplace. And then it's also important to remain focused. So through everything, the best marketing is going to stay focused on the customer, stay ethical, and stay adaptable. And that's how you're going to be able to build trust and long-term relationships.